Grade 3, Whitmore beating, among others, his stablemate Edge to Edge. He does it from well off the pace, and he came from far out of it again today.
Yeah, I got a really nice ride. And one of the things that I like from Chris Landeros is he's a very strong finisher. And that's something I admire with riders. He's always had that ability to get horses to finish. Put a nice little kind of moving block on Necker Island. Was much the best down a twist, but a little bit of race riding going on. Necker Island was able to extricate himself to get up for second, but no doubt about the winner, Tejano Twist, in raging form.
He is good. Chris Hartman exacta, by the way, with Tejano Twist in Necker Island. And Tejano Twist coming in, he was already a millionaire with what he's accomplished on that resume. Now wins again. You got to figure he's targeting all the big ones in this sprint series in Hot Springs this spring.
And the way he finished the deal here, he is going to be a major player throughout this winter season at Oaklawn.
All right, back to New York. And there's a look at Fabulous Fox. The debut, as we mentioned earlier, for this 2-year-old filly by Nyquist came on grass. But there is plenty of dirt pedigree, and she still is the favorite right now.
Yeah, there is a lot of dirt pedigree here. The Grand Dam receivership was a 7-time winner on dirt. Is a half to White Chocolate. It was a nice winner right here at Aqueduct. So there's turf pedigree here. They got to find out. You know, we don't have turf anymore until the springtime here in New York, and take a chance. If she takes to it, then you know you can stick it out in the winter here. If not, okay, go to winter quarters and prepare for a summer campaign, or a spring campaign, I should say.
All right, we'll get to the post parade in a moment. There's this finale coming up here. We'll see if we do have another Pick 6 carryover heading into Sunday. You can bet all the action we bring you on the program and beyond by getting signed up at Naira Bets. New members, that's the promo code to punch in at sign up, match 200. Get that $200 deposit match. Sign up bonus at NairaBets.com and bet any track, anywhere, anytime. So post parade to come here in a moment. And it's horses who've run that look like the dangers in here. And obviously that price again on Scarlet Streams, wow, still holding at 9-2. Here's Saving Memories, blinkers on for David Donk.
Yeah, adding blinkers. First run sprinting on turf was a little better than stretching in the mile. Turns back in 8th and gets those blinkers.
Call Her Bluff at 5-1. This is start number 5. Ran second at this condition last start.
Yeah, and has run consistently well. This is a horse that shows up and tries. Has a lot of foundation. 7 furlongs shouldn't be an issue.
Hall of Fame barn of Bill Mott. This filly was the 1-2 favorite in her debut earlier at Aqueduct.
By Maximus Mischief, a son of Into Mischief, and this horse took all the money on debut.
That debut was November 9th, so start number 2 coming up. Here's a first-timer, Lucky Spin.
First timer from the Mark Hennig barn. This is the first fall out of a mare that was a turf runner.
Poseidon's Miss, this will be start number 6. You would need a big move forward.
Big move forward. Actually was second from maiden 30 before moving back up and being well beaten by Scarlet Stream last time.
Still likely to be the favorite, I would think, at post-time Scarlet Stream, but she's still 9-2.
If she's 9-2, she is a big overlay. That was a nice effort last time.
Fabulous Fox, dirt debut coming up for Christophe Clement.
Yeah, but there is turf pedigree to go on for this daughter of Nyquist.
And photo finish. She was 43-1 first time out. Ran second, puts blinkers on today.
Yeah, ran extremely well in the slop that day. If she can translate that to fast main track, but adds blinkers. You get Lane Luzzy. Had a winner earlier on the card. First with his dad, Mike Luzzy, as his agent.
Who you rode plenty of races against. Does he have a lot of similarities in how he rides to Dad?
It's uncanny how much Lane Luzzy looks like his father on a horse. Same kind of mannerisms, similar kind of hands. The thing that Lane's going to have to show, and he'll have an opportunity here, is that he is as fierce a competitor as his dad, because Mike Luzzy was a tremendous competitor.
And I know you saw you catching up to him last week. He's got to be very excited to be representing his son.
Well, absolutely. And now he has an opportunity, too, to mentor his son and teach him some of the things that maybe he had to learn the hard way, but he has his father who's already gone through it, being able to show him.
Meanwhile, here's Trevor McCarthy on Fabulous Fox, so getting the opportunity here for the Christophe Clement barn. And we'll see how this one takes to dirt.
I think this horse looks like she may need a saddle adjustment. Looks like the saddle moved up forward. It'll be interesting to see if Trevor takes her to the starting gate and has the assistant starters help him place the saddle properly where it needs to be.
5-2 right now for Reeves Thoroughbred Racing. Meanwhile, Call Her Bluff. Here's a look at the 2. She's had 4 opportunities, and it wasn't her fastest figure, but it was her best result last time out. It was at the same level, second beat ahead, and she does have that experience underneath her, and she's tactical.
She's tactical. One thing you know about Ruben Silvera, too, he's an aggressive rider. He'll be looking to get his position going forward, and Kohler Bluff stretching the 7 furlongs in her 5th career start, I think will be right up on the pace.
Favoritism now shifting to that filly that took all that money for Bill Mott in that debut earlier in November. Dolce Veloce. Start number 2 coming up. Let's check in for the first time on the program with Jonathan Kinchin. What do you think about this dirt debut for this Clermont runner, JK?
Guys, right here, I'm going to go with the 7, Fabulous Fox, for a couple of reasons. One, this horse has some experience, was bet a little bit on debut, broke slow that day. But there was a sibling, White Chocolate, who's actually still running currently, not right now, but currently in terms of like about this time. And this horse had a ton of early speed, has a ton of early speed on the dirt. I'm just hoping that Fabulous Fox getting to the dirt, breaking a little bit better is going to show that same early speed. The horse has already shown some talent. So my hopes are that Fabulous Fox will break away from the gate, find herself on the front end, and advance her position. I like her quite a bit in here, just a little bit of a pedigree play, hoping that she appreciates getting to the dirt and shows a little bit more speed like her sibling.
And, you know, as you said, too, waiting to see if there's going to be that saddle adjustment.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it was that she was trying to buck a little bit, but the way Trevor kind of kept sitting down on her back, it seemed to me like the saddle had moved forward a little bit. Looks like she's in a decent position right now, so maybe I was mistaken about that. But also, she's not the biggest filly, and Trevor is a taller rider, and sometimes it's just a little bit harder to get as comfortable on a smaller horse. And interesting too, Fabulous Fox, bred by Jonathan Thorne, just a few miles down the road from my house there at Thorndale Farm up in Millbrook.
5-2 right now for start number 2 and dirt debut coming up for this filly. As we take a look at Scarlet's Dream, Dylan Davis for Pat Reynolds. I thought going to be very tough. I really liked that performance last time out. And I thought you brought up the key point in there, how much separation there was back to the third-place finisher in that race.
15 lengths back to the third-place finisher, and looked amazing in the warm-up. You know, listen, I don't have the benefit of being down there trackside, but watching on TV, I loved what I saw from the 6 Scarlet's Dream in the preliminaries.
So right now it's still Dolce Veloce, the 3 favored. We'll see if that shifts to Scarlet's Dream when the gates open. 2 main players here in this nightcap. Again, the 1, 4, 5, and 8 result in yet another carryover in the pick 6. Chris Griffin with the call to close things out on this card from Aqueduct on our Saturday coverage.
Spin goes in. Photo finish. Is it? All set. And they're off. Big speed from Poseidon's Mist right out to the front, and here comes Fabulous Fox right to the outside, and now Fabulous Fox is in front with Photo Finish, clearly in pursuit now, wants to pressure this pace setter. Scarlet's Dream has got some run up on the far outside as they try to back off the tempo of the front 2. In between horses, Poseidon's Miss is now holding that 3rd spot at the rail. Let's call her bluff. Way out in the center of the racetrack, Scarlet's Dream is now settled into 5th. Dolce Veloce is going to be 2.5 off the lead as the new leader is Photo Finish. Second to last is Saving Memories with the Triller. Lucky Spin, 23-1 for that opening quarter mile. So they're not flying. They did back off the tempo. Fabulous Fox is back for more. Photo Finish right there, not going anywhere. And Photo Finish is going to come right back to Fabulous Fox as they trade punches well around this turn. The trip comes from Scarlet's Dream. And Dylan Davis is just in hand right now, cruising up on the outside. Dolce Veloce is going to follow that move. Under a full drive, Poseidon's the Mess. The rest with some running to do with a quarter mile left to go. Fabulous Fox has got more. It's Fabulous Fox who's back in front. Photo Finish continues to try and keep up. Here comes Scarlet's Dream, who's had the nice trip from just off the tempo. And Scarlet's Dream is in full pursuit, but Fabulous Fox is just not going away. It's Scarlet's Dream to Fabulous Fox. Down to the inside, Poseidon's Miss is trying to make it close. Here comes Scarlet's Dream to push on by. Fabulous Fox's game, but second, Scarlet's Dream wins the finale. Scarlet's Dream over Fabulous Fox. Then came Poseidon's Miss and Call Her Bluff in 1 minute 25 and 3.
Scarlet Stream had to work to get by Fabulous Fox, but able to break their maiden here in start number 3. Let's go back to the beginning. It did not begin well for this Matoli filly.
Yeah, keep an eye on the 6, and she just kind of hopped a little bit. The inside arch broke out, kind of hampered her a little bit, probably wound her up a little bit further back than she would have liked, but she was much the best and was able to cruise up with a long, sustained 3-4 wide bid. Scarlet Stream was able to grind down the 7, Fabulous Fox, who put in a very game effort, fending off photo finish, but no doubt about Scarlet Stream certainly was best here and wound up going off favorite, which you predicted.
Yeah, unfortunately, we couldn't lock in at 9-2. Went off the 5-2 favorite, 6, 7. How about the 5 at 27-1 to complete this trifecta, and then call her bluff. Completes the superfecta. But your favorite to close things out, Dylan Davis. What's that like as a rider right out of the gate when things just do not go your way?
Well, that's when you just got to get calm. You say, okay, this is the hand I was dealt. Wasn't the beginning I wanted. I got hampered a bit. Let me not panic. I don't want to rush off into the race. Dylan put her on the outside, let her settle into a nice rhythm, and she was decidedly best here. It's interesting. She beat Poseidon's Mist about 15 lengths last time when she, broke cleaner. This time, Poseidon's Mist might have taken a bit step forward, beating about 3.5, 4 lengths.
So Scarlet Stream overcoming trouble for the win. We'll have the prices coming up. We get back to Hot Springs opening Saturday of the meet as we get set for the late Pig 4. That begins here with a 6 furlong sprint. First allowance level condition here coming up. And 9-5 favorite, Homestead, who 2 back was a maiden winner at Keeneland. The 9 taking support as well. Megan's Honors coming off a big win at FanDuel last time out. 90 buyer in that performance.
Yeah, that was a big effort. Kind of an outlier, though, huh? We really didn't see that big a buyer speed figure for her previously.
And we'll make the turn here shortly. Feature on this Saturday card. That's the Mistletoe, fillies and mares. Looks like there is plenty of speed signed up, including one of the great stories from the meet last year in Lovely Ride, who started off with a win in this race last year, the Mistletoe, and backed it up with a win in the Pippin.
Yeah, I think there's plenty of speed signed on. And one thing we've noticed about the riders at Oaklawn Park, the jockey colony, they are aggressive. They are not afraid to allow horses to show speed. Rarely do you get a very slow pace there.
Kick things off here with Plausible Denial for trainer Jimmy DeVito.
Jimmy DeVito, a terrific horse trainer, coming off a bit of a layoff. Tough post from the inside.
Manta Ray comes in from Horseshoe Indy off a win.
Yeah, nice effort last time. We're going to have to see how that Horseshoe Indy form holds up here at Oaklawn.
T. Burns has shown speed the last few starts.
Yeah, I think this adds a lot of speed to this affair.
Underhill's Tab, Fletch fans, with Robert Medina, the trainer.
Horses run some fast figures, and I think has the right style. I think he'll be stalking from just off the pace.
Christian Torres rides Homestead. Here's the favorite at 9-5, Rafael Bejarano.
Yeah, faced Rivet last time, and Rivet didn't run well just now in the stake, but Rivet, we know, is a horse that has a lot of speed, and this horse runs some fast figures.
If it really good when Damon's Bound was in that race, too. Here's Reef's Destiny, huge price, 31-1.
Yeah, it's just going to have to improve off of the races that we've seen so far.
Megan's Honor, first or second in 16 of 23 starts.
I just think this horse is going to sit the right kind of trip. Again, lurking from just off the pace. Not slow, but not going to be completely involved.
Turf back to dirt for Circle Back Jack.
Yeah, last 2 times on the dirt, though, were wins before trying the turf, so getting back to a preferred surface.
Yeah, and tactically you can lay close as well. B-Sud, blinkers going on. It's John Ortiz first off the claim.
Yeah, first off the claim, you get Chris Landaros, who's riding in good form at this Oaklawn meeting, this young Oaklawn meeting.
A couple big prices outside. Dad and son team up, Steve Asmussen with his son, and we have big news on what he accomplished earlier today on Billy Jack, and then also eligible Happy Dancer gets into the field as well.
Yeah, Happy Dancer draws in, comes off of back-to-back victories at Remington Park. And, early in a meeting like this, you're getting horses coming from all different jurisdictions. 8 different racetracks horses in this race have made their previous start at.
Makes it even more difficult, more of a handicapping challenge. Megan's Honor, one of those coming from outside the area here at FanDuel off a win. Very sharp form coming in the 9.
That's who I like. I think this horse is just going to be well placed, not slow. You don't want to be out of the race, but not forced into any kind of a speed duel. And I think this horse could really trip out here under Francisco Arrieta.
4 minutes to post. Late pick 4 is opening weekend continues in Hot Springs. Let's go to Lafitte.
These allowance races, Greg, in the purses, $140,000 on the line, and the handicappers have zeroed in on Homestead. 5-2 on the morning line, Paul, now 7-5.
Yeah, here's a horse that really ran huge second time out, first time out in the dirt at Keeneland. Then went off as a heavy favorite and got the job done in stylish fashion and won that race by about 3 3/4 lengths, so 64 cents on the dollar a day with Luis Saez aboard, and stopped the clock in 110 flat. And he was impressive that day. After that, he went to Mahoney Valley and he tried a little stake spot where he was 6-1. Damon's Mound was in there, so it was actually a quality field. He didn't break well and he ran okay. If he can repeat at least his gait manners like he did on this day, he's going to be obviously a tough foe in this.
Yeah, winning with authority, as you can see there, graduating at Keeneland. But if it is not his day for whatever reasons, if he stubs his toe, opens the door for who, Paulie?
Well, I like Underhill's Tab, the 4 in here. It's a horse that's 2 for 9 lifetime. I do love that this horse is coming out of both races at Churchill Downs. Luis Saez was aboard this horse last time out. And when you watch the replay, the horse kept swapping leads, and I don't think really wanted to be inside. So Christian Torres, I think, may be confident of that, and maybe he can get this horse to the outside. He's got a lot of talent, and I think 5-1 is a square price.
Last season's leading rider, Christian Torres, 5-1 currently as the warm-up continues. JK, what do you think?
Yeah, Lafitte, I think when we look at Oaklawn Park throughout the rest of this season, you see these $140,000 allowance races. I think that these races are going to be ripe for some pretty live favorites, right? Because I think horses that could potentially be moving on to stakes company and moving on to other situations might stick around at this level to see if they can't take advantage of some of these purses. And to me, the 5 and the 9 just kind of stand out. I'm going to go with the 5 ultimately. Main reason I landed on the 5 is this horse, some of the best races this horse has had have been with Lasix. Now gets Lasix back. I think that is a big advantage for the 5. And when it comes to the 9, who I think is the main competition, I like to look at Timeform US. And Timeform US has this thing where it's like a race rating, where it puts into a number what the quality of race these horses have been running in. If you look at the 9 Megan's Honor, the last 2 races, 103 and 101. You look at the 5 Homestead, he's been running in 118, 111, 106, 105. I just think Homestead's been facing better, gets Lasix back, Lafitte, and that, to me, gives him the edge, although he is a little bit less of a price than the 9.
The discrepancy there in terms of speed figures, and for that, the handicappers have zeroed in on the favorite now at 8-5, getting closer to post time. Towards the outside, Paulie, another price in here. Check that number 3, T. Burns with Ramsey Zimmerman at 12-1. Make the case for this would-be outsider.
Well, I mean, this is a horse that was favored last time out, and two back, almost won off the claim for Chris Hartman. Now, Ramsey Zimmerman's aboard, and he's more of a Sen rider. T. Burns, you could argue, might be as quick as Homestead early. It will be a debate whether he is late, but he could get to the front end of this group, and he's shown at Hawthorne when he was in Illinois that he could carry his speed, but can he carry his speed at this level?
Started the late pick 4, and then number 10, Circle Back Jack, 8-1 currently. And Ramon Vasquez, yesterday, opening day, 2 wins, including the featured event, the Advent.
The horse has never been out of the trifecta, never been here at Oaklawn. I think the unknown horse at 8-1 that could be, the upsetter in here. And if I was, I picked this race 4-10-5 basically. I think the 10 is the outside horse in here at a price that can maybe hit the board.
4-5-10. Would you feel comfortable if you're playing this late pick 4? Would you feel like you had enough coverage going into this first leg with 4-5-10?
Ooh. I'd probably go 3-4-5-9-10. I'm not leaving Mig's horse out. I think that horse has got a big shot as well, yeah.
Started this late pick 4 here, the 7th race at Oaklawn. As Greg mentioned, still have the co-feature coming up, the Mistletoe in race number 9. If Homestead is going to be successful this afternoon, who is now 9-5 is the choice, what needs to happen early on? Where do you want to see him positioned in order for him to bring his A game, run back to that big maiden win at Keeneland?
Well, in his maiden win, okay, he was able to polish off a field where he was 60 cents on the dollar, okay? So I thought his last race showed me a little bit more at Mahoney Valley. He got off to a really bad start, and he at least pursued. He made a middle move with Rafael Bejarano. He was on the bit after breaking slow, ran up and then kind of ran in spots. But if you watch the race, he kept on trying. He just needs a better break today. I think he can lay off horses too as well. So I see where Jonathan's going here at 9-5. It remains to be seen whether he wants to go to the front end or if he does let the 3 T-Burns get to the front and just lay off him and pounce.
About the simple fact that we have a fast track here at Oaklawn. Downpour, absolute downpour last night. The drainage here as well as this track drains, and by mid-afternoon, a fast track.
Put it this way, race number 1 was legit a muddy racetrack, and we are dry as can be. Great job by the track maintenance here.
All set for the 7th, starting the late pick 4. Final check of the toe board reading, 9-5, Homestead. Favorite at post time. Matt Ditterman standing by.
T-Burns has gone in. Underhill's Tab, post position number 4. Just a few more runners to load into the gate. Homestead, Billy Jack, and then after Billy Jack, Happy Dancer to the outside post. Here's Happy Dancer. We're ready to go. The rider hopped off plausible denial. Ricardo Santana Jr. hopping back in the saddle. Looks like we're now ready. And we're off. Picture perfect start for all the runners. Plausible denial from the inside showing speed. Billy Jack is quick as well. And from the pack, T-Burns is flashing more speed than usual. And T-Burns all the way up to grab the lead and get to the rail. Billy Jack running in the second position. 1.5 lengths to B-side. He's down on the rail, now racing a joint second approach in the forward turn run. Homestead is next in the 4th position with Happy Dancer as they approach the forward turn run. They're 4 clear of Plausible Denial. And Megan's Honor, Reef's Destiny's plummeted back. Underhill's Tab just past that rivals, but got at least 10 lengths to make up. Has to get going. And Manta Ray is the trailer as they round the forward turn. T-Burns and Ramsey Simmerman approaching the quarter pole, comfortably clear the margins 1.5 lengths. Billy Jack in an all-out drive in the second position as they come off the corner. T-Burns opens up to a 2.5 length lead. Billy Jack trying to catch him in the second position. They're 1-2 with a furlong to go. T-Burns now he's starting to get a little bit leg weary. Billy Jack continues to grind away, and here's Plausible Denial on the outside coming with a late surge. T-Burns finds more. Billy Jack lunging. Billy Jack to get there. Billy Jack over T-Burns and Plausible Denial with Underhill's Tab checking in 4th.
Driving finish. 3 of them battling to the wire in between horses. Billy Jack, maybe a 21-1?
Yeah, I think Billy Jack does get up for Keith Asmussen and his father, Steve Asmussen. Another W here. And I thought that Ramsey Zimmerman would send the 3. He did, but the 12 would just not go away. And Steve Asmussen gets another W here. There was another horse flying on the outside of the gray. That's the one horse that was rolling underneath Ricardo Santana for James DeVito. I think this race is 12-1-3, 12-3-1. It's very, very tight. I'm going to go with 12-3-1.
Much tighter for second, yeah, than it is when, you don't miss, Eagle Eye. Like, you don't miss with the photos.
I'm 999 for 1,000.
We hope not for 1,001. In between horses, and we're going to have much more on this story a little bit later on in the broadcast here with the Asmussen family. Keith riding for his father, Steve. And here, in between horses, Billy Jack. You don't get Steve Asmussen at 21-1, Paulie, very often at Oaklawn Park.
No, you do not. And this is a horse, that had shown speed in the past. This horse was in the St. Louis Derby just 2 starts ago. And cuts back in distance, obviously, from 6.5 furlongs to this distance. And been, the 2 races to begin his career were good. And I think his last couple of races just kind of, as they say, muddied up his form a little bit. So he was a player from the outside and kind of overlooked by all of us, but a good ride by Keith, and Steve get the job done, the son of Uncle Mo.
Found his best today at a big price, 21-1, 12-3-1-4 in the 7th. Kick off the late pick 4 at Oaklawn Park, and right on cue, Steve Asmussen, the authority at Oaklawn is right. Holds just about every record. Lots to smile about. Much more on his story and the Asmussen family when our coverage continues. Tape 2, Oaklawn.
Nothing stood in his way. War of Will won the Preakness.
At the line, War of Will, that's a photo for the win. Hey, 650,000.
War of Will, standing at Claiborne Farm. RaceLens is the most in-depth product in horse racing, with unique features found nowhere else. True odds, predictive analysis, and pace projection. RaceLens. It will change the way you follow horse racing and take your game to the next level.
Back with you on our FS2 coverage, America's Day at the Races, brought to you in part by legendary Claiborne Farm, 100 years of doing the usual, unusually well. Card in the books at Aqueduct. Of course, plenty more to come, including the co-feature out at Oaklawn. Scarlet's Dream overcomes a poor beginning, wide trip early as a result to get this win and break her maiden in her third career start.
Yeah, nicely trained by Patrick Reynolds for Charles Hallis, and daughter of Matoli gets it done, sitting that 3-4 wide kind of stalking, grinding trip after not breaking very sharply and being hampered a little bit by an inside horse coming out into him, but a very resolute and nice victory. Good try from the runner-up. Fabulous Fox, just second best, and your runner-up, your third place finisher, Poseidon's Miss, rounded out your try, so it came back $99.50 for a 50-cent trifecta bet with two very logical horses over Poseidon's Miss.
So Scarlet's Dream, trained by Pat Reynolds. Dylan Davis aboard, owned by Charles Hallis. The victory in Dolce Veloce, who was 1-2 in that debut for Bill Mott. Fourth in that debut, and now disappoints here in start number 2, but had obviously shown a lot of promise before she ever ran.
Yeah, some horses are very good in morning trials. They're good in practice, not as good in the game. She's going to have to show that she could, show it. And sometimes those horses that work really well off the pole, meaning they have a running start into their workouts, sometimes turn out to be grass horses. They just can't do it as well or get as comfortable when they have to break from the gate and kind of find their rhythm right away.
Tough sequence to put together. You saw that pick six pay off $115,000. Well done if you were able to put that combo together. Earlier in the day, stakes action in the Garland of Roses. It was a major scratch in this race that meant that Butch Reed was finally going to let someone else win a stakes race on a weekend after he had 2 big stakes wins last weekend. No Tisco Ebo in here. Looked like Olga Isabel was going to control. She was bet down to even money favoritism. In the end, it's Linda Rice, Hot Fudge with Kinder Carmouche.
Yeah, Hot Fudge just ran 8 days ago with a nice win off the layoff going a mile, turned back in distance, was able to get forward position under Kendrick Carmouche, and was able to hold off the 2 Can't Hurry Love, who showed a change in tactics today, and nice to see that style that she was able to rally from off the pace and just miss. But Hot Fudge now 6 for 11 lifetime and just a hard-knocking, consistent sort.
And 4 for 5 on this surface. Loves it here at Aqueduct. I thought it was going to be so tough for her today because she likes to be forward, and she was not going to be fast enough to get the lead today.
No, but she was able to get forward enough position, and coming off the mile race, you knew the foundation was there. This was a really nice effort from her. She actually has a tendency to really want to drift out, and she didn't show that as much today, turning back into the sprint. A really nice effort from the 2 Can't Hurry Love, but Hot Fudge off a quick turnaround. December 1st with a big effort, comes right back.
I thought you were going to give me an ice cream reference. I was waiting for it. Her last 3 wins, those are the winning silks of KEM Stables, were all gate to wire. This time, though, able to show us a new dimension and get the win.
Yeah, and it's nice when a horse can be tactical and versatile. It just helps a rider so much. Listen, forward position to me is always a premium. It's important, but not having to be forced into a race just makes a rider's job that much easier.
Lafitte teased. We're going to have more on the family story with the Asmussens. This could have been very special, but little record that happened earlier in the card. Those guys are going to have more on that coming up later. Let's go to Lafitte and Paul.
Yeah, he gets to tell his dad, I've won more races than you in the saddle. Keith Asmussen, much more on that story in a moment. And here, like right on cue, the Asmussens, they strike. You see them in the winner's circle all the time, Paul. Not at that price, 21-1, Billy Jack.
No, you don't. And it was a good ride here by Keith. You know, Ramsey Zimmerman looked back a couple times on the Chris Hartman runner, thought he had a little bit extra left, and Steve just kept busy on the son of Uncle Mo. And this is a horse that's never passed horses before, but Steve, you know, tried this horse around 2 turns. So if you kind of read between the lines, I always tell everybody, I did not like this horse. So I always try to go back and see what did I miss. And if you read between the lines, he thought that this horse could stretch out, maybe coming back in distance, gave him a little bit more punch. And like you said, 21-1 on the Steve Asmussen runner at Oaklawn Park. Whew. And look at that. Trifecta and superfecta. 45-40 for the win. He puts away the leader, holds off the late charge. Billy Jack for the Asmussens in the 7th. We turn the page, race 8. Good 2-year-old event, maiden special weight, a mile, field with updated odds. And while Orange Diablo is the odds-on favorite at 4-5, take a look at number 11, Imperial Gun. We're going to stick with this Steve Asmussen theme. Asmussen, the authority at Oaklawn Park, is right. Long time since that first Oaklawn win, 1996, with Honest J. Since then, yeah, a few more. 876 wins entering this meet. That's a record. Here's another. 104 stakes wins and counting. Asmussen won the Advent yesterday in Oaklawn's biggest race. Yeah, he's won that 4 times. The Arkansas Derby. Oaklawn earnings staggering, more than $51 million just at Oaklawn Park in training titles. Yeah, he's captured a few of those. 12 training titles at Oaklawn Park. Steve Asmussen, the authority at Oaklawn Park. Paulie, and like the end is nowhere near. It is frightening to think what those stats and numbers are going to look like once it is all said and done. I think the only thing that really changes is his hairdo. I mean, whether he's going to have a longer mullet and a little bit like Rex Ryan or not, you know, I mean, it's really gotten to that. He messed around with harness horses at one time. He was buying them with his kids. Now his kids are riding his horses. His son Keith just passed him. He's got another son, Eric, that's going to be on horses here as well. This is a family affair, but this is also a family that is very, very competitive and likes to win.
Yeah, coming into today's action, Steve Asmussen, if you're newer to the sport, you might not be aware that he was a jockey, and he won 63 races. Coming into today's action, his son had won 63 races. That all changed in the first race this afternoon.
I'm so happy for Keith. You know, when he started riding in Texas, it was basically just during COVID. He just wanted to do something to get through COVID. And he did. He struggled a little bit. He'll admit it to you. But the strides that he has taken over the past couple of years, even from last year at Oaklawn Park to this year, his dad is putting him on better and better horses, but he's also getting better and better in the saddle.
Richie has touched on this, just the vast improvement in a short period of time. I think that's the part that's been really, you don't want to say surprising, but for a young, inexperienced jockey to make those strides in such a short period of time, it is staggering.
Yeah, listen, he's a taller jockey, right? And his brother Eric's probably a little bit smaller. And Steve's a big guy. I think what Keith is very cerebral, and I think that comes to just being from a horse racing family and being around his father, being around a man that's trained the most winners in North American history. So I think that, Keith is very sharp. His father talks to him after every ride, whether he runs eighth, whether he runs, or whether he wins, and asks, what he feels underneath the horse too. So he's listening to his son's opinion too as well.
It's a great moment earlier today, day 2, off and running in this brand new Oaklawn. Meet day 2 of 66. And we still have 3 races left. 2-year-olds, what do you know? Father and son to team up once again. The Asmussens, Keith and Steve, Imperial Gun, serious contender in the upcoming 8th race. 2-year-olds next at Oaklawn.
It's a domineering display by the ultra-talented McKenzie. McKenzie in a dominant performance.
1,200,000 right there. 1,200,000. 550. Mitchell, 550,000.
And now 500. And 500,000. Thank you.
450. 75. 475,000. Experience the adrenaline-pumping, suspense-filled action of the Sport of Kings no matter where you are with Naira Bets. It's fast, easy, and secure. Download the app today and start winning with our lucrative weekly promotions, thrilling handicapping contests, and a one-of-a-kind VIP rewards program. Don't just watch horse racing, be a part of the action with Naira Bets.
They say breed the best of the best and hope for the best.
Macoma broke well on the outside.
But you don't expect to get speed like this.
It is Macoma, the one to catch. Macoma has a 5-length lead in this grade 1 quarter. Inside Macoma continues to battle on down at the rail. It is Macoma who's going to win the Met Mile.
It's America's original sport, and no one covers it better than americasbestracing.net. From the sport to the lifestyle, the best races, horses, and destination venues, cocktails, gambling, fashion, and more. americasbestracing.net is a sport for you.
Speightstown at the rail. Here's Gators and Bears to join the fray. Clock stopper is fourth. There's 1 furlong to go. And Johnny Velasquez is asking Speightstown for everything he has, and he is giving it to him. Opening up here. Turning back the challenge of Mike's Classic. A late run coming from Clock Stopper on the outside, but they cannot catch Speightstown.
What a star on the racetrack, and made an even bigger imprint in this sport as a foundational sire for WinStar. 2004 champion sprinter Speightstown passed away earlier this week, euthanized due to foot issues from old age at the age of 25. Breeders' Cup sprint winner, millionaire, and his progeny, they won on all surfaces from 6 furlongs to 1.25 miles. In 2013 was a leading sire by number of stakes winners with 37.
Just an incredible sprinter, and he really found his best form when he turned 5, so he got better with age, and his pedigree really he passed it on, being by Gone West out of a Stormcat mare, and he was all racehorse. I mean, he would just show up and he could have enough speed to make the lead, or he could sit just off the pace, which is how he won the Breeders' Cup at Lone Star. He was a tremendous racehorse and an even better sire.
One of only 3 active sires to win a Breeders' Cup and to sire multiple Breeders' Cup winners. Pretty incredible.
Yeah, I mean, it just is. I mean, again, that pedigree to back him up. And what do we covet in good stallions? Speed. And the fact that he passed along that speed, but also that stamina influence coming from his pedigree that they can win up to 1.25 miles. Really just a tremendous. And listen, he lived a long, good life, 25. It's always hard to lose these, terrific, horses, but he really made his mark on the game.
He's still represented with his son Nashville in that shed row at Windstar. They called him Spidey. Meant a lot to him at Windstar Farm. He certainly will be missed in this game, but he was a great one. Get set for the 8th coming up at Oaklawn next. It is a maiden special weight, 2-turn mile. And out on the track, get set for our post parade to come. Orange Diablo, 4-5 right now. 2 sprints for Brad Cox, and now is going to stretch out to this mile distance.
Well, this is a horse that already has the roadmap to the winner's circle. He won on debut quite impressively and was subsequently disqualified. Came back with a nice effort, going 6 furlongs in the slop. Now he stretches out with a pedigree, being by Union Regs. You think that distance should not be an issue. And out of the 17 races run so far at Oaklawn Park, 9 winners are horses that made their last start at Churchill Downs. Not at Churchill Downs, in Kentucky. 6 of them at Churchill, 5 of them at Churchill, 3 at Keeneland, 1 at Ellis Park. So Kentucky form is really early in this meet, small sampling, is really producing good runners. And in fact, Greg, the last race, the exacta was Kentucky-based horses at big prices.
And Orange Diablo, he's coming in from Kentucky as well. He's a Kentucky bred, and he has speed as well. And a lot of time you'd like to see that foundation, those 2 sprints before you stretch out to 1 mile. Helps you think there's going to be a little bit more left in the tank to last the distance.
Yeah, it's the progression you want to see. You don't want horses to be put in over their head or not ready to handle something that's being introduced to them. Obviously, Orange Diablo, being out of the Brad Cox barn, a tremendous conditioner, is well prepped.
And a rider we saw win yesterday who we're starting just get to know a little bit, Martin Schwann. We'll see him again riding for Brad Cox. Here's Twirling Trolley, Eddie Milligan trains.
Yeah, 2 decent tries against maidens in Remington Park, and then tried a stake last time at Delta.
D. Wayne Lucas trains the Tornado Road.
This horse actually took some money on debut in Saratoga, is going to have to improve.
Against a loaded field. That was locked, and drum roll please in there. Speedtail, Ingrid Mason trains.
A nice effort last time, should be forward here, comes out of Churchill.
Orange Diablo, here's the favorite.
Very logical favorite. This horse has already won. He knows how to get there.
Mike Alicious, Mike Maker trains, is taking money in both starts.
Yeah, and improved from the first start to the second start. Looks like the stretching out, being by Blame, should be helpful.
Big price here. Commander Storm, Ramsey Zimmerman rides.
Yeah, I agree with something Paul said earlier. Ramsey Zimmerman is a rider that likes to get his position going forward. He likes to be on the front end.
Penrod at 11-1. Blinkers go on.
Improved nicely for Ron Marquette and adds the blinkers. Could take another step forward.
Kenny McPeak trains this 19-1 shot Golden Plate.
Yeah, I just feel like this horse is going to have to really step forward and improve here.
And dad and son team up again here with an expensive son of Gunrunner, Steve Asmussen, and son Keith with a first-time starter.
Taking money, looks good on the racetrack. They're always well prepared. Most of these horses are broken and trained in Laredo, Texas by his dad. So it's, kind of certainly a family affair.
And a son of Run Happy on the outside. Blinkers go on for start number 2 with Dutch Mills.
Going to have to improve and gets a very tough post. But those short-leaf stable of John Ed Anthony colors have been prominent at Oaklawn for as long as I can remember.
More on that to come in the program. 3 minutes to post. Let's go back to Lafitte and Paulie.
Yeah, guys, these 2-year-olds and all eyes on Orange Diablo. Paulie in his debut, as the guys mentioned, that daylight win, but then he gets disqualified. Burned some money in his last start. So why should today be any different?
I don't know. I mean, is he the horse to be? Yeah, he is. And listen, Brad Cox has already won a couple of races on this race card. He won one yesterday as well. And it just seems like his horses, when they stretch out, they run better. The issue you have with this horse is that he's had a couple problems with the gate. He's kind of been flat-footed at the gate a little bit and had a little bit too much to do last time. He was able to do it his first time, but Florent Drew just lost the reins a little bit, and he did slam into a foe, and he got taken down that day. So He's the horse to beat in here. He's a Union Rags out of a Smart Strike mare, so the distance shouldn't be the problem. It's just he needs to mind his manners out of the gate. I mean, listen, he got beat by Bye Bye Liam. Bye Bye Liam ran yesterday in a tough spot, but it remains to be seen how good that race is.
Let's revisit his latest. October 29th, Churchill Downs. This was in the slop. Again, he's an odds-on favorite. You'll see here, Paul, he is charging late. He's making up ground, but just going to come up short.
Yeah, he just broke flat-footed on this day, like I said. And, Florent didn't really hustle him up. He just kind of want to lay back. He might have got a better education out of this race than he did in his first race when he won very easily. He's trying to grind away there in third, and he keeps on coming. And, Bye Bye Liam was impressive that day. So I like that he keeps on charging. Shows me that he will like to go a little bit further distance,
JK, the favorite, Orange Diablo, is today the day he wins, and they don't take it away from him.
Well, here's the thing. I wanted to try to get cute here. And the cute option for me would be the 11, the pedigree. You talk about Gun Runner. There's some siblings that can run as well. You get Steve Asmussen, you get an outside draw. But you're still hoping that this horse is going to do something that the 4 Orange Diablo has already done a couple of times, run really well, run nice figures, has been bet. He's trained by a trainer that obviously knows how to get a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old going in the right direction. This is one of those situations where, yes, this horse is 4-5. And sure, you can take the 11 at 5-1, but that 5-1 doesn't count if you don't win. And I just feel like the 4 has significantly more things in his corner than the 11 does. Look, if someone is allergic to 4-5 and you want to take the 11, I'll high five you on your way to the window. This just doesn't. I'm still guessing. This is a first-time starter. Obviously, the breeding's there, but you're still guessing. Give me the horse that has some experience. That's why I play multi-race bets and not very often bet to win.
But that's the thing, though, Paul. I mean, we were just blindsided by the Asmussens at a big price, ignored in the wagering, and now another overlay with a first-time starter. It's Keith, it's Steve, it's Imperial Gun, 3-1 on the morning line, hanging up there at 5-1.
Yeah, and this one owned by the Prince Sultan bin Al Said. So this horse is, they bid $375,000. He had a Gun Runner on yesterday, did not break out of the gate that well, and was taking money. But that was my racehorse horse. Those horses usually do take money. So this horse debuting for the first time, going long. I just don't know. Like Jonathan said, do you get a great job? Maybe you do get a better job being on the outside, being a first-time starter. But I just can't take it at 9-2. When Jonathan talks about the 4 being at 4-5, I can understand what you're saying. It's like taking the Patriots or the Bengals this weekend if you wanted to play a football game.
These trainers that win a lot of races here at Oaklawn Park, and certainly Ron Moquette fits the bill. Number 8, Penrod, his second start around 2 turns, and blinkers on this afternoon.
I think he's interesting. I've always talked to Ronnie about this horse, and he's always liked this horse a ton. A son of Upstart. His last race was October. He showed some speed from the 1 hole. Now they're going to put some blinkers on. I would think he's going to try to maybe get to the front or at least be forwardly placed in this spot at 12-1. And the other runner in here is Michaelicious, the 5. I think he's my long shot play in here, and I almost actually picked him on top. This horse got bet down to 3-1 in an 11-horse field at Belmont. Came to Churchill, got bet down to almost 4-1 in an 11-horse field at Churchill. He's going to wake up sooner or later. Maybe today at 17-1 he might wake up.
Big number. Isaac Castillo, Michaelicious, Orange Diablo, and watch him from the start and see how he gets out of the blocks. The odds-on favorite trying to graduate in his 3rd career start for Brad Cox. Orange Diablo, 3-5 at post-time race 8 of 10, day 2. From Oaklawn, here's Matt Dinnerman.
Speedtail. Imperial Gun. Just a couple more runners to load in, a few in fact. Orange Diablo, big favorite right now, 3-5. Two back. Michaelicious and Dutch Mills. We're ready to go. And Laroff. Penrod put into play early. Twirling Troylet up close from the inside and snatches the lead. From Speedtail, a little bit eager to get after that pace setter and moves up level, approaching the turn. Speedtail on the outside, Twirling Troylet inside. Right together now around the clubhouse turn with Penrod sitting off in the third position. Orange Diablo, the favorite, and the pink cap racing between horses now. A length and a half to Tornado Road, settling in the fifth position, and he's a length and a half of another pair. Dutch Mills, he's racing inside of Michaelicious. They're 3 clear of Golden Plates. Second to last, Commander Storm, and at the back, it's the firster, Imperial Gun. Down the backstretch, Speedtail assumes control on the lead. Went quick, too. 22-3, that opening quarter mile, so went at a decent pace to get to the front. He's got it by about 2 lengths still off the fence. Penrod in the second spot with Orange Diablo. Twirling Troylet gets a breather down the backside, tries to move forward, approaching the turn as Speedtail still does it well on the front end around the far turn, and the others are starting to get under pressure now as Speedtail is opening up the lead. This race will be ending at the 16th pole, and it looks like it's Speedtail's race to lose now. He sailed 5 ahead. In the second spot, Michaelicious trying to get there, and the rest are battling just for a minor award, it appears. They come down the lane, and it's Speedtail in front. Here's Michaelicious on the outside gaining ground. Orange Diablo right behind, and now Michaelicious is moving up alongside of Speedtail, takes a short lead. Michaelicious, Isaac Castillo to score by a narrow margin. Second home in the race was Orange Diablo. Speedtail involved in that photo for the second spot, and Imperial Gun checks in fourth.
Polly, turns out today was the day for Michaelicious at 20-1, and big upsets in back-to-back races in the first 2 legs of this late pick 4 at Oaklawn.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it looked like Speedtail was going to take him all the way around the Son of Mastery and Francisco Arrieta, and just at 62-1 tried to do this last time. Today at 13-1, but Michaelicious, sometimes these horses just needed different scenery, and the 2 turns worked. If you looked at the 2 races, this horse got bet in both heavy fields and comes today with that even running style and gets the job done. Another 20-1 shot in this late pick 5.
Yeah, Greg, 21-1 in the 7th, 20-1 here. The favorite in deep water rounding the far turn, and Michaelicious triggers the upset.
We've seen quite a few big numbers on the first 2 days of this meet, now back-to-back on this first Saturday out in Hot Springs. Michaelicious, Mike Maker Barn, we know him as one of the best claiming trainers in our sport. And this horse is coming out of restricted maiden special weight races.
Yeah, this Son of Blame, your Breeders' Cup Classic winning Blame Claiborne Farm stallion, stretching out to the mile. Talk about progression. 6 furlongs, 7 furlongs, took money in both starts. Gets it done today. It looked like 3 Speedtail tried to rip the race open around the far turn, was run down. Orange Diablo looks like a horse that just does not run the turns well. He gave up ground last start sprinting around the turn and then rallied again through the stretch. Did the same thing today. Some horses just don't run as well on their left lead or around turns, but another winner out of Churchill Downs. Out of 18 races run, you've got 6 winners from Churchill and an all Churchill Downs exacta and trifecta here as well.
We will have these huge payoffs when we come back. We're going to take a break. He's been racing horses at Oaklawn for more than half a century and almost 50 years to the day. He became the winningest trainer in Oaklawn Park history. We'll tell the story of John Ed Anthony when we come back on America's Day at the Races.
The best. She won by better than 10 lengths. Idiomatic. A huge performance all the way. They are 1-2 moving for the 16th pole. Clariere on the outside continues to gain. Search Results trying to hold off Clariere. Here comes Clariere. Search Results right there. It's the courageous Clariere to win the Ogden Phipps.
Curlin, the classic sire.
Back on America's Day of the Races on our FS2 coverage. Opening Saturday of the meet from Hot Springs, Arkansas. Program brought to you in part by Hillendale at Alapa. And the co-feature still to come later in the card. It's up next. That Mistletoe. Race 8, though, goes to an unsuspected contender here. Mike Alicious for Mike Maker. This one 2 sprints as well, stretching out to a mile. And shocks a lot of people. $43 winner. Let's go to Poladuca.
Thanks, Greg. With winning rider here, Isaac Castillo, who gets the job done on Mike Alicious. Take us to your trip, Isaac. How was it?
The horses do everything right and trying to keep it more close to the front I can, and he's doing everything perfect.
It got a little bit tight there late between a couple of the horses a little bit. The horse got competitive. The other horse got competitive on you?
Yeah, he's one horse. I think I waited a little bit for the other horse, but he's all right.
Now, okay, the question is, are you going to be riding in New York and here in Arkansas?
Yeah, so I tend to make it both track and do the best I can, you know.
So you're going to try to ride maybe like on Thursdays at Aqueduct, come here if you have to ride some horses on Friday and Saturday here?
Yes, that's my best plan, and my agent too.
Well, Richard McGuire wanted to ask the question. There you go, Mig. He's going to have a lot of frequent flyer miles. Isaac Castillo gets the job done on Mike Alicious.
Sign up for those airline rewards. Sounds like he's going to be doing a lot of traveling over the next few months.
Yeah, and listen, Hot Springs isn't the easiest place to get in and out of, but hopefully he'll be traveling back down there when I'm traveling there for New Year's Eve. Maybe I can catch a ride with him from the airport in Little Rock.
Well, this guy's thinking about driving.
I actually was thinking about driving. It's a nice way to see the
hours?
country. 19 hours. I mapped it out. You kind of meander, take a couple days.
All right, so Isaac, the offer's out there. If you want to take your time with the trip back, might miss his mount.
He'll be in too much of a hurry.
Cross country pick 5 follow along. Very few left alive after this. 24 Mamba, $22 to start things. Hot Fudge beating an even money favorite, and now this horse was very tough to come by.
Yeah, but Son of Blame stretching to a mile. Claiborne Farm Stallion, who has made a nice impression, and a horse that seemed to get better with racing and with age. Blame saving his best for last, defeating Zenyatta in the Breeders' Cup Classic at Churchill.
And Isaac Castillo, he's on a major contender in this one coming up. He'll be on Misty Vale to 2 at 7-2 right now. Mistletoe, 2-turn mile coming up. Fillies and mares, 3 and up for a purse of $150,000. And lovely ride. Won this race last year, gate to wire. We'll try and do it again with Christian Torres. Well, the John Ed Anthony family has been associated with timber and lumber in Arkansas for over 100 years, and it has landed him in the Arkansas Business Hall of Fame. On the racetrack, his horses has been equally impactful, with a few Horse of the Year in their stable as well. Now the stable is regaining their momentum with his son, a big part of the operation.
Well, a good horse is inspirational, and a good horse makes you want to pursue it even further, but it makes you the rest of your life. It creates a little bit of an ebullience, and you feel excited about life whenever you're winning good races with horses. And they don't come around very often.
And of course, that's Cox's Ridge and Van Landingham. That's the Belmont paddock. And that's, I think, Tipper's Hill at the Belmont.
The family of John Ed Anthony has been associated with lumber and timber in Arkansas for over 100 years. And it's his home state that serves as the inspiration for the naming of his stable and horses, using Arkansas towns and landmarks. In the 1970s through the 1990s, Loblolly Stable campaigned some of the most famous horses in Oaklawn history, which carried Anthony's famous chocolate brown and yellow silks. Cox's Ridge became Anthony's first prominent horse in the late 1970s. The stable had 3 champions in the 80s and 90s. Temperance Hill was named champion 3-year-old male in 1980. In 1985, Van Landingham won champion older male.
He was a front-running freak. There wasn't anything to do about it. That's the way he was going to race.
And Prairie Bayou was awarded champion 3-year-old male in 1993.
He was trained by Tom Bohannon, was speaking to Tom about what a good job he had done. He looked at me and said, anybody could train this horse.
I was too young to go to the races when Cox's Ridge was racing, but was able to sneak into the track to see Temperance Hill run at Oaklawn. Temperance Hill would be my favorite just because of the races he won and the exposure he gave the stable.
Temperance Hill now takes the lead. It's Temperance Hill, Arkansas Derby winner, taking the lead, going off by 2.
He won the Belmont and then the Travers and then the Jockey Club all in 1 year.
I was looking over here. This is the Travers.
Oh, it's a tough race to win.
Loblolly also won the Arkansas Derby a record 3 times before being dispersed in the mid-1990s.
Time left, winning the Arkansas Derby by a neck. The hometown colors of Loblolly stable of John and Anthony, the third-generation lumberman from Fordyce, Arkansas, who loves winning this home state race.
Horse racing has always been a way for John and Ed to bond, but since starting Shortleaf, it's gone to a whole new level.
We talk daily about what mare to breed or what's staying or what's going on with the horses in Ocala or what stayings we should be interested in. You have to stay on top of it on a daily basis, so it's an ongoing thing that we've certainly bonded over the years.
John Ed Anthony was inducted into the Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame in 2001, and in March of 2022, Anthony became Oaklawn's all-time leading owner, recording his 270th career win.
It takes your breath away. The highs and lows in this business are peaks and valleys. It's maybe the only sport in the world where when you lose 4 out of 5, you're doing really good.
Incredible legacy they have left in this game, and they're still going strong. That is an incredible accomplishment. 50 years and 10 days since their first winner. They become the winningest stable in the history, owner, John Ed Anthony, in the history of Oaklawn Park.
Absolutely incredible. And as a kid coming around to the racetrack, it was Joe Canty, their trainer, Eddie Maple, their main rider, Temperance Hill, Cox's Ridge. Used to love to watch those colors, and then I had an opportunity to win some races in those colors as a rider. And John Ed Anthony doesn't know this, but I owe him a thank you. His filly, Tilly's Curve, who wound up winning stakes at Oaklawn, broke her maiden here, right here at Aqueduct, beat a filly I was galloping named Island Charm. But I had the exacta thanks to Marjorie Cordero, who told me that filly could run, and I bought all of my riding equipment with the exacta win from Tilly's Curve, beating Island Charm, who went on to be a really good stakes winner, performer herself. So thank you, Mr. Anthony, and it's always, to me, a sense of history and nostalgia when I see those colors.
Yeah, it's all. I mean, you heard some of the big names in there, but some champions: Van Landingham, Prairie Bayou, Temperance Hill. First trip to the winner's circle, by the way, all the way back in 1972 at Oaklawn. Couldn't find his way there. Someone had to help him, said you're going the wrong way. Obviously, he's learned his way there pretty well over that time with over 270 victories out in Hot Springs. They're going to campaign this one here. Ice Orchid with a chance. Coming up in our ABR race of the week, the Mistletoe. A winner 2 starts back at Churchill Downs. He's got to know quite a few of these pretty well. A rematch with Coastal Charm and Lovely Ride, among others. Our feature coming up.
The Run Happies are running, the Run Happies are selling, the Run Happies are winning. Eclipse champion Run Happy is showing a new dimension with winners on turf, dirt, and all weather. A record-breaking sprint champion, Run Happy is also showing winners at all distances.
The son of Run Happy, Nutella Fella, has won the hopeful. One happy mama wins the Iowa sorority.
Run Happy, price for value, and standing strong at Claiborne Farm.
Nobody catching society. Cybernite has won the National over Tama and Ghana in the Forgo. Echo Zulu wins the Next Gen Breeders' Conjunction Fillies.
Racetrack Television Network brings you every race, from every track, on every screen, every day. With monthly packages starting as low as $5, RTN gives you great value and access to more live HD streaming and race replays than anyone. Visit RTN.tv today to sign up and watch on almost any device, including Roku and Amazon Fire. RTN has packages that start at $5 per month.
Silver State's somewhat of a throwback stallion. He was very durable. He won 6 times in a row across multiple tracks, Churchill, Oaklawn, Belmont, and he won the Grade 1 mile, which is a very nice stallion making race. Beat Horse of the Year Nick's Go, which he was the only horse to defeat Nick's Go the year they were running.
Finish in the Hillendale Met Mile, and it is Silver State to make it 6 in a row.
And his first falls have hit the ground, and we love what we've seen. He's throwing amazing consistency. There's plenty of substance and leg. We're really happy with what we have on the ground. And I don't think I've ever had more people tell me about a first-year horse than I have this year with people with Silver State foals. He's an imposing horse. Everyone that comes to see him that first year, it was amazing. They would come and see him, and they'd walk right into Bernie's office and sign a contract, or even ask if they could buy a share. The response to him has been phenomenal. He bred the most mares of any stallion that's ever been at Claiborne his freshman year. Very encouraging for the future, and hopefully we can get lucky.
Back with you on our FS2 coverage. America's Day at the Races, brought to you in part by legendary Claiborne Farm. 100 years of doing the usual unusually well. We just saw Son of a Claiborne Stallion win with that big upset back in the 8th. That's Son of Blame, Michaelicious, as we get set for the 9th coming up. The Mistletoe, their feature, our ABR race of the week for fillies and mares at a mile distance. And Lovely Ride, the 4, trying to repeat in this race, last year's winner.
Yeah, it kind of comes in with a similar pattern to last year. Last year she had a race over synthetic. Wasn't a good race, and comes right back to win the Mistletoe this year, coming off a race on the turf and now getting back to what seems like a very fun racetrack for her in Oaklawn. Seems like her best races have come there.
Yeah, she was one of the big stories early on in the meet last year. Kept thinking as she kept tackling tougher and tougher, she wouldn't be able to get the lead, but she continually was able to. She is quick, and coming in fresh, you would think she's going to be awfully quick again today. Christian Torres will be back aboard. She is 5-1 right now. The favorite is that Shortleaf stable runner for John Ed Anthony and his team, Ice Orchid, we'll get to. We start with Big Bad Diva.
Yeah, 0 for 3 at Oaklawn Park, and just would have to step it up from a speed figure standpoint to be competitive here.
Isaac Castillo looking to go back-to-back. He's on Mistyville.
I like this filly. I think she's run well at Oaklawn. She's coming off a good, decent effort in the Fall City at Churchill Downs.
Yeah, for the trainer he teamed up with in that big upset, Mike Maker. Charlize, Chris Landeros.
Yeah, another one. Daughter of Curlin, got a really nice pedigree. He's going to have to improve.
Here's last year's winner trying to repeat Lovely Ride.
Yeah, listen, Lovely Ride has run some big races, and if she can get to the lead and control things, she's always tough.
This one quick as well. Coastal Charm with Martin Garcia.
Well, this could be the fly in the ointment here for Lovely Ride, because Coastal Charm is quick, and she likes to be involved.
Effortlessly Elegant, Rafael Bejarano for Norm Cassie.
This horse showed 21 flat speed last time at Churchill Downs, going 6 furlongs. Should be involved also.
Charlie May, big long shot here at 32-1. Comes in off a win, though.
Comes in off a win. Hard knocking, consistent sort, but it's going to have to improve. This is a much tougher spot than she's faced.
Adeline Julia, and this one a winner last start. That was at Delta Downs and a stake.
Adding more speed to the affair, too. This horse has shown speed sprinting.
Here's the John Ed Anthony runner for Shortleaf stable, Ice Orchid.
Yeah, has some big efforts. Has also run well at Churchill Downs. And we've seen the Churchill Downs runners running extremely well at this young Oaklawn Park meeting.
And graded stakes winner Butterbean for Kenny McPeak, Julian Leperoux.
Well, a deep closer in a race filled with speed, and that's always a good thing to have. That's how you surprise them sometimes. Everybody gets kind of heated up and involved early, and it makes it ripe for a horse to kind of pick up the pieces.
So that's your field. We're 4 minutes away from this Mistletoe, our ABR race of the week. Let's go back to Mistyville for a moment. $500,000 in earnings. Connections that just won the last race. Mike Maker, Isaac Castillo, and could get a perfect setup today.
It really could get a perfect setup. She's fast enough to kind of set up shop right in behind the pace. Could get that kind of coveted pocket trip. I've been impressed with Isaac Castillo. I liked what I saw watching him at Oaklawn last year. And then when he came to Aqueduct, getting to know him a little bit personally, just a very classy individual and rides consistently good races.
7-2 right now, trying to win for the third time in her career here in Hot Springs. Let's go back to Lafitte and Paul.
Some synergy with our handicappers gearing up for this Mistletoe. You're in the Misty Vale camp as well, yes?
Yes, I am. I like this horse. I really do. Everything that Mig said, I reiterate. And what I do like the best is, like, when you look at her sheet pattern, because I'm a sheet player, she went a little backwards last time off a layoff. She hadn't run since September, so it was a couple-month layoff. And, you know, she was 19-1 that day. And if you look, her best races have kind of been with Isaac Castillo aboard, and he's laid a little bit closer with her. There is a ton of pace in here. We'll see how it shakes out early, but I do think the 2 is going to sit in a tremendous spot. And this is a mare that is 4 for 6 lifetime in the exacta here.
Isaac Castillo looking to go back-to-back. That 20-1 shot in the last race. This one not 20-1, 7-2, Misty Vale. Then you have Ice Orchid. Great feature on John Ed Anthony. Her most recent, Paulie, November 3rd, Churchill in allowance race. She's even money. She tries to shake loose here, and she's going to get picked off late.
She does get picked off late. She actually gets almost a length in front, about right here. And, you know, she's a kind of horse that has run a lot of seconds. And Stretch Cat, I still don't know how, runs her down. She gets a little sideways here. She's getting a little... She got a little bit lost. She swapped leads there a little bit late, and that's why she's had a lot of second-place finishes. But she does bring her lunch pail every time. It seems like she's always right there at the wire. I don't know if she wants to hit the front that early.
What about the outside box and the short run to the first turn for her in position early on? Losing precious real estate, somewhat of a concern for her, Ice Orchid. Then you have Coastal Charm. 2 starts back early July. This is the Iowa Distaff at Perry Meadows, Paulie. Coastal Charm makes the lead right here. She's going to be challenged by Ice Orchid and draws away in the end.
Yeah, and what a heady claim by Steve Hobb. He claimed this horse for $30,000. He's made almost $300,000 with her, and this is the Iowa Distaff. She took that field gate to wire, and, you know, she's got a lot of speed, and 3 of her wins are here at Oaklawn. She's won over $150,000, so she likes this racetrack.
Wide open edition of the Mistletoe JK. Who'd you wind up with?
Trying to see if there's a mistletoe out there for you two. Look, I don't actually believe that this pace is going to be as fast as everyone thinks it's going to be. There's a couple reasons why. Let me run you through them. I'm going to pick the 9 in here because I think the 9 is the speed of the speed in a race where I actually think the pace should be honest enough, but I do think that a horse forwardly placed can win. If you look at Timeform US, the pace projector says that the 9, 7, 4, and 6 are the 4 horses that are supposed to be involved early. The 7, Effortlessly Elegant. This horse was sprinting last time, did show a ton of speed, but stopped. Last time in the Grade 1 in the Ashland showed a bunch of speed and stopped. I don't think that they're going to be gun-ho about getting to the front end because I think there's still some questions of whether or not this horse wants to be able to kind of be forwardly placed and find the front end. The 4, Lovely Ride, a horse that if you look at Timeform US, this horse does make the front, but often makes the front in paces that aren't overly quick. And then the 6, Coastal Charm, another one who makes the front, but in races that aren't overly quick early. Look, there's a lot of horses with 1s in the past performances. I do think that it's a mistake to just assume that they're all going to be hell-bent on making the front end because those 1s show up. Richie says it all the time. It's not how you're how you're going fast. Wait, what is it, Richie? Gosh, help me out. It's not if you're going fast, it's how you're going fast or how easy it is. I'll let Richie fix it for me. The point is, I don't think the pace is going to be as quick. Richie, help me out here. I'm sweating.
JK, it's not how fast you're going, it's how you're going fast.
My man.
Say that 10 times quick. Say that 10 times quick, Lafitte.
Just deceptively fast.
Yeah,
better than deceptively slow.
Kind of like me when I was running for a triple. Yeah. Okay.
Adeline Julia towards the outside, and yeah, Ramon Vasquez, who won the feature yesterday with Advent, the 2-year-old, and he's gonna have to have the pedal to the metal right from the start, and we'll see if she is the quickest of the quick.
Well, I mean, I think it's between the 2 rivals, right? I mean, Sean Williams has, I think, the 2 speeds in here, the 4 or the 9. And what happens? Does Coastal Charm go to the front end too as well, the 6, and mix it up early?
Race shape, something to watch right from the start. They're at the gate. Paulie, here, any final thoughts as we get set for this third running of the Mistletoe?
No, I'm going to stick with Misty Vale.
Misty Vale, 3-1 at post time. And Ice Orchid, John Ed Anthony, and for all his success here at Oaklawn Park, all those stakes wins, the only owner to have swept every 3-year-old Kentucky Derby prep race here at Oaklawn Park this morning. Jones Southwest Rebel in Arkansas Derby. Will he add a Mistletoe to the resume? We're about to find out. Post time for the third running of the Mistletoe. Here's Matt Dinnerman.
And then after Coastal Charm, we wait for Butterbean. Butterbean walks up to the gate. We're ready to go for the Mistletoe Stakes. And they're off. Beautiful beginning from Lovely Ride, who takes advantage of that good getaway and goes to the front. Coastal Charm keeping tabs with her in the early part. Adeline Julia is third, and Effortlessly Elegant in a good stalking position while in hand into that clubhouse turn. She's a length and a half in front of a trio of runners. Misty Vale, Charlie May is there, and a 3-deep Ice Orchid around that turn. Another length to Charlize, settling in the third last spot. She's about 5 or 6 behind in the blue cap, and a space of 4 to Butterbean. Big Bad Diva, the early trailer. Effortlessly Elegant, a bit keen to go on after coming out of that sprint race at Churchill last time out, and she tugs her at her rider to get to the front, and she's got the lead now. Effortlessly Elegant from third to first down the back stretch, a half length in front of Coastal Charm second. Lovely Ride third, place to the inside, stalking down the backside. Misty Vale attempts to get closer on the front runners. Adeline Julia right behind her, and then Ice Orchid, she's kept out of harm's way on the outside. She's with Charlie May into that turn. Charlize had to check sharply, and Lovely Ride did as well as they round that turn. This race ending at the 16th pole. Coming back to the lead, it's Effortlessly Elegant trying to hang around. Coastal Charm right there, and these two are locking horns as they approach the top of the lane. Ricardo Santana Jr. getting to work on Ice Orchid, but she is responding under some pressure here. Ice Orchid let loose on the outside as they wheel for the judges. Ice Orchid, Butterbean on the outside is coming strong, and Misty Vale finds a seam up the rail. These three driving. Misty Vale inside. Ice Orchid not going to get it, and here's Butterbean. Butterbean got there under Juliet Leperoux. It's Butterbean over Misty Vale, and Ice Orchid with Effortlessly Elegant fourth.
This string of long shots continues in this late pick 4 sequence. Butterbean at 11-1. Julian Leperoux takes down the Mistletoe.
Wow, Kenny McPeak and Butterbean. Mick talked about it. If this race heated up, when this could be a horse that could come from way out of it, and Julian Leperoux fit perfect. Isaac Castillo with the 2 in here. Misty Vale tried to come up the rail. I think the stewards are going to take a look. The 4 had to check out of this race, got in all kinds of trouble. Butterbean just had a little bit more kick. Isaac was able to get through, and actually the Ice Orchid fought back. Just shows you when Ice Orchid gets somebody behind her, she starts to run again, but don't take nothing away. Butterbean produced at the right time by Julian Leperoux.
As you just mentioned that, Matt Dinnerman announcing there will be a steward's inquiry. Butterbean up in time at 11-1, Greg. But yeah, they're going to take a look at what happened rounding the far turn, and the defending champ, Lovely Ride, having to take up sharply.
Guys, yeah, it was severe trouble for Lovely Ride, who had to check out of there. And about Julian Leperoux from Kingston to Hot Springs, winning all the big races.
Yeah, and a nice, well-timed ride here. And Christian Torres allowed Misty Vale to get up inside of her. And that's as the 7-horse Effortlessly Elegant kind of outran her. Now you see Isaac Castillo's got to have to get up in there. To have ownership of that spot, you've got to get all the way up in there. So he gets up in there, and now the outside horse is going to put pressure on. But Isaac Castillo's established his position already. He got up into the spot, and now the your favorite, Lovely Ride, had to check out of there. But honestly, it was because he allowed the 2, Misty Vale, to get up inside of her and establish that position. If he had stayed on the fence, because Effortlessly Elegant was trying to get out a little bit the entire way, if he had stayed on the fence, Christian Torres, the 2-horse Misty Vale never gets up inside of him, and he's never going to have to check out of the race that way. I really feel like that was a little bit of Christian Torres' own doing by giving up that inside position to Isaac Castillo, who is very decisive, having to get up in there. The rule of thumb, and
Pink Silks, by the way, lovely ride, the 4.
Right, and the blue on the outside is Effortlessly Elio Bejarano. The yellow silks with the white blinkers is Misty Vale. Unwritten rule is you have to get all the way up in there going to the turn, or you have to get all the way out of there. So Isaac Castillo let his filly do enough, Misty Vale, to get up in there, establish it. And now, basically, Lovely Ride is left in no man's land. So when this horse is going to switch leads and come over, it's going to take her basically out of the race. And she checked out of the race hard at that point. I think it was a really good heads-up ride by Isaac Castillo. He might have had to use his filly a little bit early, but you have to make a decision as a rider. Do I use my horse a little bit early and make sure I secure that position, or do I take a chance of being the one that has to check out of the spot? And then Butterbean was just the beneficiary of things heating up on the front end, picking them off late. Eric Esch, a boxer and mixed martial artist, I'm sure that's who this horse was named for, Butterbean, I would imagine. That's the only Butterbean I ever heard of before
Yeah,
this.
me as well, but it gets the win rolling late to get this win. It does not involve your winner in here, but it certainly looked like they may have been Lovely Ride's own doing that problem there. Our Winner Circle lead-in brought to you by the Fasig-Tipton December digital sale, which has more than 300 entries. Bidding is now open and closes Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern. Bid now at digital.fasigtipton.com. Butterbean, some big wins earlier in her career. She's a graded stakes winner in the past. Prairie Meadows, Grade 3 Iowa Oaks. Was no match for Coastal Charm. Ice Orchid, Big Back Diva, when she met him back in July, turns the tables this time around in our ABR Race of the Week.
And the stage is set. Bright Work will make Ways and Means work. She is running on strongly. Ways and Means still a length back second. These two are dominating. Bright Work is a superstar.
Now more than ever, it's time to get with the program. When shopping for your next race prospect, consider that New York Reds start with an advantage. Our New York Reds run for serious green. At Saratoga Race Meet, New York bred maidens run for up to $88,000. New York bred allowance horses run for up to $100,000. And New York bred owners can collect awards of up to $20,000 per horse per race. So get back with the program. Seriously.
Back on our FS2 coverage, America's Day at the Races, and our ABR Race of the Week in the books. Our program brought to you where you can play it all at Naira Bets. Go to NairaBets.com, download the app, and bet any track, anywhere, anytime. We saw him win in Kingston, Jamaica, in the Mute Mile. This first ever trip to the islands to ride. Julian Leproux now takes the main event on opening weekend here in Hot Springs, Arkansas, on Butterbean for trainer Kenny McPeak. Let's go to Paul LaDuca.
With winning rider of the Mistletoe and Butterbean, Julian Leproux, making his presence felt here at Oaklawn Park. Your first time here after taking a little vacation and winning a Grade 1 in Jamaica.
Yeah, Jamaica was good. We had a good weekend over there. Obviously winning the Grade 1 there, the biggest race. A couple of days over there, enjoying with the family, and now here. So far, a great first weekend, so now life is good.
Well, take us through your trip with Butterbean.
Well, it's a lot of speed on paper, so I thought they're gonna go quick. She broke. I just relaxed her at the beginning. I just wanted to be in contention at the quarter pole, and she took me there, and she finished up very nicely, very game filly.
So how's Hot Springs been treating you? You like it so far?
Yeah, very, very nice. I'm very happy to be here. New experience. I've been here shipping, back and forth from Florida before, but first time staying here and excited about it.
We're excited to have you, and Julian Leproux gets the job done on Butterbean here in the Mistletoe.
Great, riding there full time now. Great to have that, confidence to get a big win like this early on in the meet.
Absolutely. And listen, Julian Leproux, extremely talented rider, has ridden world-class kind of horses. And I honestly feel like over the last season or two, his confidence was a little rattled. He just didn't seem the same confident Julian Leproux. Recently, and the race in Jamaica last week, then the rides he put on there, and then the way he started the solo meet, I feel like you can see his confidence being restored. And confidence is key for any athlete. Sometimes it's not about ability, it's about your belief in your ability. And I feel like his belief in himself is really starting to be restored.
Paying dividends here. Butterbean, big win. Former graded stakes winner takes the main event on this Saturday card. So we still have the nightcap to come and close things out in just a little bit with the next one. This big news came out earlier in the week. 2024 Belmont Stakes will be run at Saratoga in upstate New York on June 8th. As a result of it being at this historic racetrack, it will be at 1.25 miles. Rooms are almost all gone. Restaurant reservations are almost all gone.
Yeah, I was talking with somebody that lives up in Saratoga, and they said that there's still a lot of rooms available in the Albany area, not directly in Saratoga. So if you're planning on attending this Belmont Stakes, and I would strongly urge you to do so if you're a fan of racing. It's going to be a 4-day celebration festival of our sport. You may have to stay a little bit further out of town, a half hour or so, but I think it'll be well worth it because we are going to have a brilliant time covering brilliant racing.
Such an important race at this historic racetrack. You coined it. I wish I could remember. You coined it so perfect yesterday, if you can remember what you said.
Well, an American classic at America's Classic Racetrack.
Yeah. Well put. It's going to be so much fun. There's so much buzz about it with this happening next year because of that construction in Belmont Park. We're all excited about it. If you plan to be part of it, get on it because, those rooms are going very fast. Wrap up this Mistletoe. Butterbean. These prices just keep rolling in. 50-cent pick 3. As an example to tell you just what has happened in Hot Springs the last 3 races. $10,948 for a 50-cent pick 3.
Yeah, and listen, we've seen this historically now covering Oaklawn Park early in the meeting. Particularly, you're going to see prices, horses coming from different jurisdictions, deciphering and figuring out, where these winners are coming from.
And by the way, the 7 was disqualified. Okay. Wow. Are you surprised by that?
Well, I mean, she did come over, but again, as a rider, you know that come to the break of the turn, you've got to be more than a half a length up in there. If you have a half a length, you don't have ownership of that spot. You have to be 3/4 of a length up in there or all the way up in there, head and head for the lead. If you're a half a length back, if your horse's head is at the other rider's boot, you do not have ownership of that spot. So I just feel like Christian Torres maybe needed to be a bit more decisive and either get all the way up in there before it happened or get all the way out of there. And it all was precipitated by the fact that he allowed Misty Vale to get up inside of him going the turn. And that was honestly a slick move by Isaac Castillo to get and grab that position and hold on to it.
Saw those how this cross-country Pick 5 has played out to this point. Very few tickets alive to this point. It's going to be a massive payout with one leg remaining. 10th and finale on the Saturday card at Oaklawn. 6-furlong sprint. This is a look at the field that's going to line up in this first level allowance race. In a wide open event. Favorite right now is 4-1. Wow, don't wait up for Gennaro Garcia, coming off back-to-back wins, 94 Beyer in a victory at Churchill last time out from that inside post position. More on this nightcap when we come back. We're going to take a timeout. Francisco Arrieta, this is his 3rd season riding full-time at Oaklawn. He made an immediate impact, and it was his agent who told him, we got to make the switch to Hot Springs, and it has paid off. His story when we come back.
This proven son of Giants Causeway has sired 7 millionaires. With over 10% stakes performers, his recent top runners include Tarabi, placed in the Grade 1 Spinaway and Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies, Grade 2 winner Plum Ali, plus these standout performers. A proven value sire, First Samurai, standing at Claiborne Farm.
Experience the adrenaline-pumping, suspense-filled action of the Sport of Kings no matter where you are with Naira Bets. It's fast, easy, and secure. Download the app today and start winning with our lucrative weekly promotions, thrilling handicapping contests, and a one-of-a-kind VIP rewards program. Don't just watch horse racing, be a part of the action with Naira Bets.
War Dancer, New York's leading turf sire again in 2023 with standouts like Barrage at Saratoga.
Here's Barrage with a final surge. Barrage got him.
Warsaichi dominant on the dirt at Finger Lakes.
Warsaichi has scampered well clear. Warsaichi all the way with the top spot.
And Danzig Queen on the tap of the surface at Woodbine.
And Danzig Queen will come away and win by a length.
Consistently producing winners on dirt, turf, and synthetic. War Dancer, proud to stand in New York.
Francisco Arrieta's childhood dream was to become a jockey.
Because my first time when I see a horse, man, I fell in love. What a beautiful feeling, you know.
Arrieta, a native of Venezuela, moved his tack to the United States in 2014.
When I started here, it was hard for me, you know, to get a chance. I don't speak any English and I don't know nobody. It was pretty hard. I have to gallop like for 2.5 years and ride a couple horses, you know, it was really hard.
He would need a strong belief in himself because this dream would require plenty of patience. Over a 3-year span from 2015 to 2017, Arrieta rode 210 races, winning just 3 times. Yes, 3 years, just 3 winners.
For sure, I work every day, you know, almost don't no day off, you know, working hard.
But patience, work ethic, and faith in God would lead Arrieta to finally break through as leading rider at smaller tracks off the beaten path.
I was in New York at the time. I started working for Robertino Dodoro, galloping, and I galloped for him like a year, and I asked him for ride horse, you know, and the opportunity didn't come in New York, so they moved to Arizona, so I asked him to give me the opportunity. So finally I moved with my family to Arizona and started riding over there, and that was unbelievable after that.
It's going to be Senor Friday to win the Turf Paradise Derby.
He's one of the hardest workers. You know, he's a very good worker, got a good attitude. He's a good rider. He's a kid that started right from the bottom up, paid his dues, and it was just 3-4 years ago where he was galloping and picking up claimed horses for us at Saratoga during the summer to make extra money. So he's come a long way in a short period. Like I said, he's a kid that started right from the bottom. So got to give guys like him a lot of credit.
Then Arrieta came to Oaklawn for the first time in 2021, and he won 50 races, finishing third in the jockey standings. On the year, Arrieta's mounts earned $5.5 million, compared to $62,000 just 4 years earlier.
I like Arkansas. You know, it's a nice place, nice people around here. I used to be happy to be here, you know, and it's not hard to ride in this racetrack, you know, it's easy.
He also recorded his first Oaklawn Stakes victory in The Bachelor, aboard Jackson Traveler for Hall of Fame trainer Steve Asmussen.
Well, I just remember that was a nice horse. He just break and go to the lead. It was an easy winner, you know, nice horse.
Jackson Traveler beat the gate and beats The Bachelor. Jackson Traveler in front.
For the boy who started riding in Venezuela at age 16, it's been a long, winding 16-year journey.
About 4 or 5 years, I was, Mom, I want to be a rider. She said, no. I told her, let me be a rider. I want to be a champion, you know. Don't worry about it. It took me 10 years to win my first title, leading rider. 10 years, working hard, no day off, no vacation or nothing, you know. So, but here I am.
Well, you can just tell, seeing that piece, he loves what he's doing, and he has that work ethic. And the moment he came to Oaklawn that first season, just 3 years ago, he made an immediate impact.
One thing that people on the racetrack respect is hard work. And if you want to make an impression on owners and trainers, be the first there in the morning. Be the last there to leave. Have a good day. Be there even earlier the next day, because that's when people are happy to see you, and it gives you an opportunity to open up some barn doors that maybe previously had been closed to you. I like hard work rewarded, and it's nice to see that. And listening to Robertino Diodoro speak about his work ethic, again, hard work rewarded is always satisfying
That
to me.
Whitmore win, by the way, from last year. We saw that horse came back and won again today, Tejano Twist for the Chris Hartman barn, but that was a big win for Francisco. And look, he is now, it seems like year after year, he is in the mix as one of the leading riders.
Yeah, well, he's established his reputation, and people, you build trust with people. They have confidence. You know, no owner or trainer wants to leg a rider up they don't have confidence in. You're basically handing over the keys to the car. You want to make sure that you get a good ride, and he's established himself.
What do you think about, he's going to be on WW Scout's Honor in this upcoming race. Pretty consistent 5-year-old. He's been first or second 14 of his 20 career starts, and obviously that last out effort, one of the best of his career.
Yeah, I mean, a big effort here, and you know, he has speed, and speed is always a good commodity to have. One thing, though, again, you don't get free rides at Oaklawn. You don't see horses kind of jump out and establish an easy lead and just kind of, you know, steal the race. They're going to have to earn it.
We'll see if this horse can get it done. He's 7-1 right now, and yes, certainly he wants to go to the front. There's plenty of other speed, though, in this race.
Yeah, I see a lot of speed sight on. I was really kind of interested in the 11 Gun Flash. I just thought this horse could sit like that perfect, just off the pace trip. And this horse sprinting's record is so much better. They've stretched this horse out consistently, but he's 2 wins at 6 furlongs from 2 starts, 2 wins at 6.5 furlongs from 2 starts. Only poor race around 1 turn was in the slop going 7 furlongs. But other than that sloppy race, this horse is undefeated sprinting, and I think sits a trip.
Well, meanwhile, tells you what a tough betting race this is. That horse that just went by the 12 at 4-1 is your top choice on the board. And Francisco Arrieta's mount, WW Scout's Honor, who we were just talking about, finished well ahead of that horse when they met back in the spring here at Oaklawn last year. So difficult race to close things out on a day that has brought upset after upset. Going to take a look at these will pays as well in this late pick 5, because it has been almost an impossible card to try and handicap. There are several, the majority of the payouts are 4 of 5 in this pick 5 today. The 2, the 5, the 9 and 12 result in it getting hit, and it's over $200,000 to each of those. Here's the 5, don't wait up, Gennaro Garcia.
Big win last time at Churchill Downs. The Churchill Downs horse has been running well at Oaklawn.
But Bohemian Bow 12-1 went by for Thomas Vance. Here's St. Andrews.
St. Andrews, more of a closing type coming out of Delta, turning back in distance would be a bit of a surprise.
Cyclone winner at a mile at Thistledown last start.
Yeah, it just feels like this horse would have to be a little bit faster to contend here.
So the primary speed of the race with Bolt 45.
Yeah, another horse that adds speed to this affair certainly will be involved.
Prairie Meadows specialist, the 5's been off since July. Here's the 6, La Mutanati.
Keith Asmussen for his dad, Steve, and nice little milestone for him today.
Yeah, past dad with more career wins in the saddle. WW Scouts Honor, Francisco Arrieta just went by. And here's Hey Eugene.
You got Hey Eugene, a horse that should be lurking from just off the pace. Another one that feels like it's just going to have to be a
Grease
bit
reference.
faster.
Affable Monarch at 9-2.
Yeah, turning back in distance. Dan Ward, longtime assistant to Jerry Hollendorfer.
Up to the 11, Gun Flash for Carl Broberg.
And this is who I like. I think this horse is going to sit a nice trip from the outside, and this horse's record sprinting is so much better than the races they've tried to stretch him out in.
And still the favorite. The price comes down another notch. Here's Ben Benjamins from that outside post.
Well, if you have been hitting the races today, you've got Benjamins to spend because we have had some serious prices. Outside post, listen, a horse that is 5-time winner and has run some fast figures.
If that horse wins, someone will be collecting $261,287 in the pick 5. Again, several 4 out of 5 payouts. Let's send it back to Hot Springs with Lafitte and Paul.
Yeah, you guys aren't kidding. It has been tough on the handicappers. Last few races, a couple of 20-1 shots, an 11-1 shot in the feature. Paulie, is Spend Benjamins the horse you like going in, like the lukewarm favorite, ready to restore order?
It's the horse I like, yeah, and I'm hoping that somebody does win that $261,000, and they paid it on Naira bets as well. I just think that this horse is set up for a prime effort. You know, if you look at his races, he kind of just falls out of the gate, and so the 12-hole does not bother me at all. Bejarano is very, very good at saving ground, and he's, his last race, he just kind of grinded away a little bit for a 4th place finish, but he didn't get away from the gate. I think there's going to be way more pace in this race. He's the kind of horse that the bigger the field, the better for him because there'll be more pace. And I'm in agreement with Mig as well. I think either the 11 and the 12, whoever gets the better trip is going to get produced at the right time. I do think the 1 will carry him around for a long time, or at least be in the picture here.
Yeah, that was 2 starts back at Churchill. He was 10-1, and he didn't win, but he rallies nicely, did Spend Benjamins. And then the bookend, you mentioned Don't Wait Up, currently at 5-1, drawn inside. And we'll take a look at his latest. Don't Wait Up, this was 3 weeks ago, Churchill Downs. He was bet from 15-1 to 5-1. Don't Wait Up, who rewards his backers.
The thing about Don't Wait Up, I truly believe if he did not draw the 1 hole, he'd be the favorite in here. Just by drawing the 1, does it put him in the pickle that, okay, I got to go from there? Or can he sit and rate? Now, he's shown that he can maybe sit right behind horses and pass. There's other speed in here. Can he get to the front end? Does he want to push and get into a speed duel? I honestly think he's the horse to beat, but he got the worst draw here. If he would have drawn outside, he'd be able to maybe sit and pounce, but drawing the 1 hole, he might be pot committed from the beginning.
Wide open with about a minute to post, JK. And then what about Gun Flash towards the outside, the 11 at 7-1? What do you make of his chances?
Yeah, I mean, I like him a lot in here. If you look through his past performances and you look at the distances and you look at the results, I think maybe you'll kind of see where I'm coming from a little bit here. You look back to April of this year at Lone Star Sprinting, wins for Carl Broberg. He comes back in May 6th, sprinting, wins. And then he ends up on this trail of going a little bit longer where it didn't quite work out as well for Gun Flash. Then you look at the last race, November 24th, 6.5, sprinting, wins by 5, runs a fast number. The pace figures, the way that race was run, suggest that he might even be more dangerous going 6. I love the outside draw, tactical position. Yes, there is some horses in here that seem to be running a little bit faster, more consistently, but I do think you pick up some value here at 6-1 with a horse that we know is going to appreciate sprinting. When he sprints, he wins. Whether it's 6.5 or 6 furlongs, he's undefeated.
A sprint today. We'll see if it all works out. Gun Flash looking to go back-to-back and up there at 6-1. Paulie, we can make a case for so many of these. How about number 7, WW Scout's Honor for Scott Becker, also coming off a sharp daylight win.
Yeah, in his fast figures. This horse has run some really fast figures in Illinois as well. The issue with him is can he clear this field? He needs maybe a clear lead in here, or is he going to be able to rate? There's some fast horses in this field. He could be the speed of the speed.
WW Scout's Honor and the speed he brings to the party, currently 9-2. What kind of a trip are you hoping for from Spen Benjamins, who you wound up with from the far outside?
Well, like I said, he kind of just drops out of the gate, so I'm hoping that we get at least a nice little speed duel. If we can get sub 21, he's going to come rolling late. I mean, but if it's contested enough, I think Rafael Bejarano will make his charge. I also think the 9, who is getting a lot of play here for Dan Ward, ex-assistant for Jerry Hollendorfer, now out on his own. This horse has run some decent numbers going long at Delaware, and that horse is cutting back and sprinting with Nicky Juarez, little charcoal gray. That horse could be rolling late as well, cutting back in distance.
A good first couple of days of racing, Paulie, here at Oaklawn Park. You see these big competitive fields, these allowance races, $140,000 purse. Yeah, you're going to attract some very good horses, trainers, and jockeys. And trying to get your feet wet, is there anything differently you do as a handicapper at the very beginning of the meet? Like, what are you looking for, trends, that kind of thing, as you're kind of getting an education as well at the start of a brand new meet?
Well, I think, Mig made a very good point. The Churchill Downs horses have run well. I think that's number one. And there's nothing against Ohio racing. The Ohio horses that have come in here have struggled a little bit, and they've struggled last year. I think there's certain trainers that prime more for this meet than other trainers. The usuals are always tough, the Brad Coxes and the Steve Asmussen. So I think you kind of see out how these horses are running for different barns and how they're going to run. We did get actually some good weather today, and the track did dry out, so there'll be some more track trends. But we got some good riders there. Travis Wales is a 24% rider. He rode in a race today. So this is a very good colony. And you got loaded fields like this, you're going to see Will Pays and pick 5s and pick 4s with payouts like this.
It's about 1,200 horses here on the grounds. They're expecting around 1,400 by the end of December. A 66-day meet now, starting about a month and change earlier than it used to. It goes all the way through the first Saturday in May, Kentucky Derby Saturday, and we'll have so much on this during the course of the meet as these 2-year-olds are about to turn 3, Paulie, and starting on New Year's Day with the Smarty Jones and going on to the Southwest, the Rebel, and a record high purse. Increased yet again, the Arkansas Derby, $1.5 million this year.
Yeah, the money keeps going up. Like you said, almost $900,000 each day, and I think a lot of people are going, wow, can I change my horse to an Arkansas bred, please?
$115,000 purse yesterday. 2-year-old fillies, Arkansas breds. These allowance runners are at the gate. Wide open 10th and final. Matt Dinneman standing by with a call for the nightcap from Oaklawn.
In the pink jacket loading. Affable Monarch. Ignitus and Cyclone, the next pair. Bolt 45 in the blue jacket. Gun Flash. Working with Gun Flash to go in. Gun Flash is in. La Mutanati. And Spending Benjamins. La Mutanati goes in. And Spending Benjamins to complete the line. We're ready to go. And Leroff in the finale. And Bohemian Bo rockets out of there. and goes to the front, is on the engine early. Bolt 45's got a lot of early dash as well, and these two hook up in the first furlong. Bohemian Bow, very speedy, opens up a length. Bolt 45 concedes the lead, is running in the second position. Hey Eugene being joined by Don't Wait Up, and WW Scouts Honor in the middle of that pair. A length to Lamutanati, settling in midfield today, approaching the turn, about 5 ahead of Gunflash with Ignitus, then Affable Monarch and Spending Benjamin. St. Andrews is second to last, and the Gray Horse Cyclone is the trailer. 21 and 4/5 seconds for Bohemian Bow, who zips along on the lead and is still clear approaching the quarter pole, has sailed 2 ahead of Bolt 45 in chase mode second. Lamutanati getting closer, right behind them, looking for a spot to go. He's trying to get outside and had to tap on the brakes off of Heels. Hey Eugene is next as they come down the lane. Bohemian Bow has a 3-length cushion. Hey Eugene in the second position. Bohemian Bow still clear, and here comes Spending Benjamins, flying on the outside. Spending Benjamins, and he's gonna get there from the back of the field under Rafael Bejarano. Spending Benjamins with a big burst to win it. Second, Bohemian Bow, and third was Gunflash. Photo for fourth.
Spending
like he was shot out of a cannon, restoring order as the favorite. Spend Benjamins as the long shot. Bohemian Bow trying to steal this thing up front, Paulie. Spend Benjamins, your top selection, had other ideas.
I'll tell you what, the 2 was blazing a path, was he not? On 45 and 2, but look at Rafael Bejarano go to that left end, and he produced Spend Benjamins at the right time, and this horse absolutely exploded. And listen, he was a horse that originally started off on turf in the beginning of his career, got to dirt, and he's really turned out to be a nice little sprinting closer, and he actually broke well from the gate today, and Rafael was able to position him in about 8th or 9th instead of being dead last.
Just a furious late rally, drawing away in the end with the sun setting here in Hot Springs. Spend Benjamins, Rafael Bejarano, 12, 2, 11, 7. In the nightcap, we'll wrap it all up when America's Day at the Races continues.
Cyberknife was a very talented horse from day one. Fast horse, able to carry it around 2 turns. Looks a tremendous amount like Gunrunner, same ability and talent. Holds the track record in the Haskell. He won it in impressive fashion, beating a very good group of horses.
His name is Cyberknife!
Excited about him passing on his durability, his soundness, and his talent. He could definitely be a breed-shaping stallion.
Welcome to the Adelphi Racing Club experience. Take ownership of stakes-winning thoroughbreds like Funny How, racing at the highest level circuits.
Funny How is in front. It's Funny How who's up by 3 lengths, approaching the 16th pole. It's all Funny How. Funny How, Katie Davis more than amused. Funny How wins the Broadway.
Contact us online to get a taste of the Adelphi difference, and let's win races together.
Winding things down from Oaklawn Park, you're watching America's Day at the Races. As always, brought to you in part by America's Best Racing. For the love of the race, visit americasbestracing.net today. Holly had the winner in the first race yesterday, opening day. Closes out day 2 with a winner as well. Spen Benjamins, just jumped in at the quarter pole, as Trevor may have said.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Watch Raffy just be very, very patient, and then right here he gets busy. And the 2 looks like he's gone.
Look at how much ground he makes up. Look how far back he is.
Yeah, Aaron Shorter's really done a really great job with this son of competitive edge. Like I said, he was originally with Mike Maker, and he started on the turf. If you look, he's got 13 races on the turf, and he's transitioned to the dirt, and he stayed there, and he's just become a better animal on the dirt. The pick 4, 30,000, and Greg said right before, if Spen Benjamin's wins, someone was going to collect over $250K, and there it is, $261,287. Please leave that out the window.
Yes. Spend Benjamins and the cross country. Every day we have Aqueduct and Oaklawn racing. We have the cross country. Nobody had 5. Completely understandable. 4 of 5, Paulie, $1,900.
Incredible. I mean, it's just not that many times you're going to see this happen where it's 4 out of 5. But Mike Alicious for Mike Maker. Big upset with Isaac Castile. Julian LePeroux. Produced Butterbean at the right time at 11-1. That was also mixed in here with the Keith Asmussen runner at 20-1 for his father, Steve. Unbelievable day of racing.
Hey, the first couple of days, your lasting impression of the first 2 of a 66-day race meet here at Oaklawn Park?
It's going to be a heck of a lot of fun. I mean, we saw it today. The eclecticness of the riders here and the horses that are coming in here. We're going to see some horses coming in from Golden Gate. Horses are coming in from everywhere, and it makes it tricky. You got to do your homework. You got to watch some video, and it's going to make for good prices if you're right.
No, so much fun today with Steve Asmussen, an only North American trainer that's won more than 10,000 races. But like as a jockey, he had only won 63, which Keith can go home now and say, yeah, Dad, I've won more races than you have. He wins his 64th race as a jockey to kick off today's program at Oaklawn Park. Our thanks to everyone here at Oaklawn for their hospitality and a tremendous first couple of days of racing in this brand new meet. We'll look forward to seeing you next week. For the entire cast and crew, Paul LeDuc, I'm Lafitte Pinkai. Good night from Hot Springs, where we watched Butterbean from off the pace at 11-1, taking down the Mistletoe. That kind of afternoon with the upsets and the long shots. What a way to kick off this brand new meet from Oaklawn Park in Hot Springs. Have a great night, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Down to the wire. Who's going to win it? It's Malefact. Nest, much the best. She won by better than 10 lengths.
Idiomatic. A huge performance all the way.
They are 1-2, moving for the 16th pole.